Hey, ladies, welcome to our School of Coaching YouTube channel. Super excited to be here with you. So, if you hear um, n- songs and dance in the background, honey, it's because I'm on TT duty. Don't worry though, I'm tuned in with you. Okay, I am tuned in. So I'm excited. I'm excited about our very first, um, well, I shouldn't say first, right? This is not my first live on YouTube in our studio. It's not, right? It's really not. But I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about it. It's not our first live, but I'm excited about it because it's almost like a relaunch, if you will. It's almost like a relaunch, if you will. It's almost like a relaunch, if you will. But we're going to get into it. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Portia Williams, right? I'm also known as the student success coach. And what I do is I help women coach so that they can make the money that they deserve. Like, that's what I absolutely love to do. All right. And I do that each and every Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So you'll see me each and every Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time here. And if you don't see me, trust me, it was an emergency. But you will see me at 12:30 each and every Tuesday. So I'm super duper excited about it. um, I don't have any major updates that I need to share right now. So let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into our class for today. Now, if you can, say good afternoon to me. Let me know who's on. Say hello. And I'll say hello to you. All right. Just trying to get my bearings right too from YouTube to from Facebook to YouTube. Just trying to get it together, honey. But I think we're ready. Okay. So, first things first, right? If you haven't seen our topic for today, it's entitled What, right? What it takes to make the money you deserve. And I'll be sharing that from my perspective, right? From this fear that I had about really sharing my expertise to make the money that I deserve. It was a point in my coaching career, especially early on, and actually for years early on, within my brand, within my business, I had this fear that maybe I didn't have what it takes, right? Maybe I just didn't have what it takes to be who I really wanted to be. And so I want to talk to you ladies about that because what I know is that that could be a fear for you as well. It's like, okay, I would love to coach. I would love to share my expertise. I would love to make the money that I deserve, right? I want to be able to travel. I want to work remotely. I want to do these things. But what if that doesn't happen? What if you're like selling me a dream, coach? And so I want to put any of those myths to bed and share the reality of what can keep you from having that level of success, but what you can do to have it. Okay. So I want to set us up all the way around. I want us to look at the pros. I want us to look at the cons, right? I want us to look at the what ifs. I just want us to really, really be clear. And I'm going to expose those things by exposing me and the things that I experience. And if you can relate, right? And if you can relate to what I'm saying, then you should be able to apply the shift that I'm going to share with you and have success. Okay? All right. Let's ride. So, remember when I said that I struggled with this fear that I can make the money that I deserve. Like I really doubted that I had what it takes. I doubted that, right? I really had a lot of doubt in that area. And the truth is, as I look back now, I really could have and should have been making a lot more money. Okay. I really should have been making a lot more money. I really should have been having a lot more $1,000 days and really making the money I deserve. And the reason I say that is because as I look back, right, I had the skills. It's not like I didn't have the skills, right? I'm by nature how God made me. I'm very interactive, right? I'm very much of a people's person. If you hear the noise in the background, it is my nephew, and he's crawling across the couch. Prayfully, he just stays where he is. Um, but I'm very interactive. I'm a people's person just naturally. I love people. And so that in itself is a skill. So think about it. I'm doubting that I have what it takes to make massive income. But half of the problem really making income and making the money you deserve, right? Half of the battle is engaging with people. And that's something that I had. Like that wasn't the issue at all, not engagement. Okay. And so I even think about it where I really had the most doubt was even in my expertise. So I had this interactive people's personality. But the same thing that I used in my profession, right, before I started coaching in education to really help parents, right, take charge of their academic success. The very thing that made me, that set me apart, that gave me a level of expertise and a level of success in education was the very thing that I doubted when I was coaching. And it was simply engaging, right? Helping parents really speak up for their child's um, academic success. And so that skill that I had, interacting with parents and willing to go above and beyond with parents whose children, grandchildren, right, foster children are struggling academically, the very thing that I was afraid to use was the number one thing that gave me success in my career. And so here I am doubting, right? Here I am full of fear that I don't have this level of, um, you know, this level of, I want to use the right word, that I just don't have it. Like I'm doubting that I just don't have this level of, I guess, charisma, maybe the entrepreneurship, just personality style, all these things I'm doubting, right? That I just don't have it. I don't have what it takes. You got to have a certain degree, right? You have to have a certain amount of credentials, right? I'm doubting all of this. I'm doubting all of this, right? I'm doubting the experiences that I had. And I'm going to say this so I don't forget. I'm doubting all of these things, right? But the only thing that was different from me and somebody else who was already doing what I inspired to do and was killing the game, it was one thing. And the one thing was they believed in what they were talking about. They believed in what they were saying. They believed. Like that was it. That was it. They had nothing different from me. Actually, I am very strong in being interactive. Like it is one of the best skills that I have. I don't know too many people who are out interact me. I don't. It's a skill that God has gifted me with. But it was the very thing I was not believing in. So I wanted to share that. I wouldn't have shared it naturally at that moment, but I didn't want to lose it, especially when we're talking about charisma, right? We're talking about um just showing up and just believing, right, in this success that you have, the success that you want. I had it. It's just the difference between me and other people that were killing the game was they believed it. And so I really want to talk about this experience as well. So for those of you who do not know, right, my background formally is in education. Okay. My formal background is in education. If you're talking about what was my career field, I worked in education as an educator, right? And as an educator, I experienced, lots of children, probably at this point, thousands, almost thousands of children when I do up the math, when I count the math. I was working in education 7 years before I built, my career in coaching. So if not thousands, hundreds for sure. I had worked with hundreds of students, right? And so, and it been had exposed literally to thousands of kids, right? In the school, serving around kids. It's the truth. But I was so in my head that the same thing, and I'm gonna break it back to what I was doing in my day-to-day life as an educator, doing it on my own. I was thinking, okay, that experience is not good enough. The experience you have as an educator working in elementary school settings, that's not what's going to get you the bag. It didn't get you the bag when you was there, right? And it's not going to get you the bag on your own. And it's one of the worst thoughts that I had about myself, my skills, my experience, the things that I went through as an educator, right? Whether good, whether not so good, the expertise that I gained from it. One of the worst things that I did was to think that I did not have what it takes to make the money to make the money I deserve. And so I share this with you, and I pray that you hear what I'm saying, right? And I pray that my message is strong for you to understand, right? Because it cost me a lot. It did. That doubt, that fear that I didn't have what it takes, it cost me thousands of dollars. And I share this, I probably would have been a millionaire by now had I not had fear. And had I got up and got to it, and I shared this yesterday, which has nothing to do with. I hope my coffee is hot. I thought I put it. Um, One of the things that I shared uh, with women in my Facebook group, right? I shared it on Instagram. I might share it here on YouTube. I said one of the things that really held me back, the number one thing that held me back from success was that I didn't get my behind up in the mornings and get to coaching. Simply that I did not get up at 3:50 when I was supposed to and start helping at that time grades K through 5 parents help their child achieve academic success. Like that was what held me back. And so it's so sad, right? It's very sad because it cost me a lot. And like I was sharing, it cost me money. I missed out on thousands of dollars. And I'm talking not just like a month, I'm talking weekly. I missed out on thousands. Can you imagine thousand missing? Let's just say a minimum, $1,000. Let's just say that, right? $1,000 is 52 weeks in a year. At minimum, $52,000, right? I had just missed out just in a year. In a year's time, right? Times seven. Times seven, right? That's a lot of money. If not a million, it's hitting there. I know my fingers in math. I was an educator, just not for math. Okay. So y'all do the math for me and let me know. You can put it in the chat. But I say that to say this, right? It cost me a lot of money. And it created so much money stress for me, right? I didn't have to have money stress had I just used my skill. Had I just remembered, hey, you were killing it for 7 years. Didn't like being there, but you had major success in what you were doing, how you were doing it. You had major success, right? And then on top of that, right, that experience turned into a level of expertise. Not only was I overcoming things, I was learning things, not just about myself and the skills that I had, about the system that I work for, that nobody else was saying, this is how you win in the system. So I say that to say God had gifted me all of these things, and I was doubting the very thing that He gifted me with. And so I want to bring that up because I'm doubting this, right? Doubting this, I miss money, But then it's affecting the people that I could have been changing the game for because their child is struggling academically. So not only am I missing out on money, I'm not serving, bless you. I am not serving, right? The people that I'm supposed to be serving, helping grades K through 5 parents confidently speak up on their child's behalf without being seen as the angry parent so that they can help their child achieve academic success. And so I wasn't helping them. Their child's struggling. They're going up to school ready to fight, bringing their necks, right? All of that, and their child isn't achieving academically, and they're failing, they're flunking, being held back, right? Or being pushed along and don't know what's going on in the classroom. And so I say that to say this to you, right? When I look at the mistakes that I made, right? And what was really at stake because I kept doubting, I also think about the impact that I missed out on making, not just helping people, but how I feel. And I'm reminded of that because one of my clients I was on the phone with last Thursday, and we were talking, and she had a major breakthrough. When I say major breakthrough, to the point where she was just like, "Oh wow!" Like I felt so overwhelmed with joy about her breakthrough that I told her our session is over. We don't need to talk about anything else. It's no point of shifting from the success that we're having, right? To anything that you need to work on better because she had overcome something that I was waiting for her to overcome when it came to her coaching brand, right? And so she has this major success. What happened if you're asking? She was able to identify what her ideal client was. When I say I felt so overwhelmed by the level of success that she had, it just threw me away. When I say threw me away, it threw me away. So I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. And I was overwhelmed with joy, right? Because not only was I helping someone solve their problem, she was not clear about who her ideal client was. She was still like unsure. She was still doubting that she was good enough to serve the experts that she wanted to serve. She was doing the very thing that I did. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and not I didn't let it piss me off, right? And make me upset. What I did was coach what I knew that I could be doing. And coaching and using the skills that I have, asking questions, just interacting, getting a little more engaging, the very skill that I used helped her have a breakthrough. And I felt so much fulfillment. So she got her problem solved, but I got what's more than money for me. She's already a client. I already done got paid from her. Okay. I already done been paid. But what matters is that she was having breakthrough. Her problems was getting solved. And in return, I actually feel good about the breakthrough that she was having. And I'm grateful to God that I still feel that. And I never want to lose it. I never want to lose that. It felt better than money. I promise you, it felt better than money. Because money can go, right? You make one investment, you watch it return, you'll get more. But that feeling, right, can go, right? The feeling can go, right? Sometimes you won't remember that you paid off a bill. After you paid it off and you celebrate, right? You might be on to the next thing. But I won't forget that feeling of her having her breakthrough. And so when we're talking about making the money that we deserve, right? I wanted to share that with you ladies so that you understand when you have this fear that you don't have what it takes, you are truly, right, missing out on money. Please forgive my nephew. You're missing out on money. Papa, that's enough. You're missing out on money. Number one, you're missing out on really making the impact that you can in people's lives and feeling the joy of the impact you're making, along with you're missing out on helping people solve their problems. They're in pain. They have fears. They have major problems. And you are over there doubting and full of fear that you don't have what it takes. And you have everything plus more. It's nothing free. Literally, what I found out was we were talking about it. Me and my client, we were talking about it after. She was like, "Oh my God, that's such a gift that you have." And I'm like, that was nothing. I did that with ease. Like, I did it with ease. It was literally God in me doing it with ease. Like it was nothing. It was not hard for me to do. I was so eager to ask her these questions to help her get this clarity. I didn't want to cut her off. I'm literally writing. You can see the smoke coming off my pen. I'm writing like this or that, or this or that, or this or that. And when I started asking her these questions, I'm sure she's like, "What do you mean? Why are you asking this?" And when I asked her the final question and she answered, I was like, "I just need yes or no. Just answer the question." And she answered, and I was like, "There we go." And she was like, I just, how did we get here? Like, that's a gift. And I'm like, to God be the glory, because that's the that's the best that I got, and it's easy. So, you know, um, I really want you all though to make sure, like, how do you get there, right? How do you get from letting go, right, of this fear that you don't have what it takes to make the money you don't deserve, right? How do you let go of this fear that you don't have what it takes to coach? Here's the answer. Here's the answer, right? You ladies have to develop a coaching mindset. I had to. That's how I let go, right, of this fear that I didn't have what it takes. Okay. That's what I had to do. And letting go of this fear, right, and really adapting this coaching mindset, right, it's going to help you see and believe in your worth. Okay. The worth that you have, that you can make the money you deserve. And I said it like this yesterday. The benefits you were going to get out of this class, right, was that you were going to learn how to make the mindset shifts needed to make the money you were worth. And that's exactly where we are. Developing a coaching mindset literally allows you to experience the value of your worth, like literally start to believe in your worth. When you develop that coaching mindset, I'm telling you, it changes the game. You start to see your worth. When you develop a coaching mindset, you literally begin to believe in your worth. And that's what changed the game for me. I started to make $1,000 days, literally straight to square, when I just believed it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. And so I could show up here on YouTube and say it is what it is because I had to change. I changed my mindset. And it took time. It didn't take me overnight, but it's my job to make sure that it doesn't take you all night. Okay. It doesn't have to take that long. You just need somebody to tell you the absolute truth. You're either going to do it or you're going to do it, because if you don't, you're not going to make the money you deserve. You're not going to have impact in people's lives, and you're not going to feel this fulfillment and joy daily. How you are being used in earth to kill the game and help people change their lives. It's a feeling that you can't pay for. Money, the $1,000 don't equivalent to that feeling. I'm telling you, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Now, I'm not saying don't get paid. Baby, get paid, get paid. But what I am saying is that the feeling that you get when you're helping and serving people and they're having these breakthrough moments about the problems and the fears that they have, it changes the game. All right. And so I want to share a little bit about how you can develop. I'm almost done, Papa. How you can develop, right, this coaching mindset, right? Let me say this. Coaching, and you want to know a benefit of coaching and making the money you deserve, changing your mindset, right? Really shifting your mindset so that you are believing in your worth and you are embracing your worth, right? You're learning the mindset shift so that you can make the money you deserve. You want to know the benefit for doing that? You can sit here and teach a class, right? Live at 12:30 on a Tuesday with a baby in the background watching Miss Rachel. if that's what you want, right? And so I wanted to share that if you wanted to know the benefit. But here's something else that I want to make sure that I share with you, right? How does it look to develop a coaching mindset? Like, what did I do? Number one, I told you I had to let go of the fears, doubts, shame, right? Feeling like that my expertise wasn't good enough. We talked about that in the masterclass like last week, right? And I'll upload it here. I will upload it here. Those are the things, right? That really, really, really changed the game. Letting go of that success. That was what was important. Here's another thing. Number two, right? I had to really get clear about I had to really get ah I had to get clear about what was in it for me for making the money I deserve. Like that's what was going to drive me. That is what was going to drive me. That is what was going to drive me. Okay. When I made it very, very clear to myself, okay, when you don't feel like getting up in the morning, like what's going to push you so that you remember the goal that you have in mind to make the money that you deserve, to share your expertise, to really coach and help people solve their problems. That's what changed the game for me. So what's in it for me? Right? I had to get clear about that. That's what helped me change my mindset. It was no longer fear that I wasn't gonna make the money I deserve. I had in mind what was making the money I deserve gonna do for me. What was gonna do for me? One, help me get out of debt, help me pay student loan debt, right? Um, and the list goes on, right? Those are the things that it was going to do for me. And that's what shifted my mind. When I started to put that in perspective, I didn't really have time to worry about fear. I didn't. I didn't have time to worry about fear because I was so focused on what there's no other way other than going straight. Okay. And as I continued to look at what was in it for me, the fear literally dropped off because I was focused on something else. Normally, when you fear something, it's because you focus on that. But when you change your focus, the fear shifts. Okay. And then lastly, right? Number most important, God. It was really what God said. God said that He gave me power to obtain wealth, right? It's an inheritance from my fathers, my forefathers. That's Deuteronomy 8:18. He gave me the power to obtain wealth. It comes from Him. He gave me the power. If I just remember Him, He'll give me the power to obtain wealth, the ability to attain wealth, which is those skills. So it goes right back, right? It goes right back to that. I had to keep that in mind. What did God say? What did God say? You can't argue with God, especially if you say you believe in Him. You believe in Him, but the scripture says in 2 Timothy 1:7, God has not given the spirit of fear. So how are you fearing? Hell gave that to you if you're afraid. God has not given you the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So I have power, the same power from Deuteronomy 8:18. The same power, right? I have that same power. Power to love people, right? To love people and to really help them solve their problems, and a sound mind where I'm not full of fear. Okay. When my mind is clear, the girl, you bad. You got expertise. God has gifted to you. You need to use it because you won't be here forever. Help change the earth. So that's that. I wanted to share those things with you, but I have to leave you with this. I have to leave you with this. Remember, ladies, if you have this fear, if you're afraid that you do not have what it takes to make the money you deserve, right? If you have this fear, it's very, very important for you to know you're not going to make money with that fear, right? You're not going to help people solve their problems like you can when you're full of fear. And lastly, you won't feel fulfilled and filled up and filled with joy in doing what it is that you really want to do to help people solve their problems when you full of fear. I've never seen anybody do it. That they're so making so much impact and they're so just killing the game, helping people change their lives, but they're afraid. I haven't seen it. And I don't think I will. Right. And so you have to, if you want to make the money you deserve, Just develop a coaching mindset. You gotta think like a coach. You gotta think like somebody who helps somebody solve problems. You gotta think like that. All right. And I know that's important because that's when you're going to see the level of your worth change. Okay. So that's it. We're done for today. If any of you want to get on the phone and we can talk one on one, right, about what's causing you to be afraid that you don't have what it takes, we can jump on the phone. I have free sessions where I will help you. We just gonna get on the call and we're gonna see where you are, right? And if I can help you based upon where you are, then we'll move forward, right? I'll share with you about the program that I have where I can walk you step by step on how to make the money you deserve. Or at the very least, let's just get on the phone. Let's talk about where you are right now. Like, what do you want? I promise you, I've never had a session and people wasn't like excited when they got on just about the session. All right. So I love you ladies much. Thank you for tuning in to our relaunch of our YouTube channel. You'll see me soon. I like YouTube. I do. I do. Here, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. Okay, subscribe to our channel. I am so surprised that I'm saying that. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to the School of Coaching. Thank you for being here. I love you ladies much. I pray this was great for you. If you're catching a replay, hi, same rules apply. And if you want that free session, just click the link in the YouTube channel. You'll see it. I'll see you then. Talk to you soon. Bye. Until we meet again back here on YouTube for our next masterclass Tuesday at 12:30. See you there.